Tonight, grab a late night snack. GTTV is here at Valve in Seattle, creators of Half-Life and Left 4 Dead, to take you behind the scenes on their brand new projects, including Dota 2, a new documentary, and the world premiere of a short inspired by Counter-Strike Go. Plus, Justine gets you in gear for school.
It's all about that quality deal these days.
It's time to turn up the heat. GTTV starts right now. Hey everybody, welcome to an all-new episode of GTTV on Spike. I'm Jeff Keighley, and this week I'm here at one of your favorite game developers, and certainly mine, Valve Software in Seattle, with the one and only Gabe, the internet. We brought him to you right here. Gabe, it's great to see you.
Great to see you, as always.
Yes, it's fun to be back here, and this is a really interesting time, I think, for Valve, because today we're gonna, announce some cool things, show some really new things that you guys are working on. You've got Source Filmmaker out there that lets fans create movies, Dota 2. But what excites you the most about what's going on here at Valve?
Well, I think it's really a combination of being sort of the best of times and the worst of times for the gaming industry. We're sort of in this slump between console generations. There are sort of these clouds on the horizon about maybe people trying to close down some of the things we love about the PC and the internet. But at the same time, it seems like there's explosion in new ideas.
Give us hope, Gabe.
I am super hopeful that this is the beginning and not the beginning of the end.
It's cool that people can now make linear content. You guys are making amazing shorts here and things like that. When you think of Valve now, obviously games are at the heart of the company. Do you see Valve diversifying and doing some other cool projects that aren't just straight games?
Well, I think that we're really learning what matters. Like, one of the things that's interesting, we've all had the experience of being a fan of something and seeing a horrible adaptation into another medium.
Yeah.
So at a minimum, you have a tool set allows the creative vision to apply to whatever forms, whether it's a comic book or a movie or a game that the creators want it to go. But then there are other things. Like one of the things that really surprised us is the value that storytelling has on items. So, for example, if an item shows up in the background of one of these shorts, then it seems to be valued about 10 times more than an item that hasn't.
Okay.
And that's with a really peripheral involvement in the story.
Interesting. So the idea of sort of, storytelling behind these items, the idea of kind of adding story and creating linear content, that there's value there, I guess, that translates back into the games.
Right. It helps us understand better what it is that are most important to customers. And it's very often not what we would have guessed until we had run the experiment.
This was a trial.
Many months ago, there was rumors of, the Steam console is coming or whatever. But, is your strategy more to, have Steam big picture, and then if someone wants to build a device that can hook up to a TV that can run Steam, then you're all for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
That's what we hope. So we show hardware guys and say, look, if this is a useful tool for you to deliver your hardware into living rooms, that's great. And if you want to run it on top of Windows, that's fine. If you want to run it on top of Linux, that's fine.
Are you finding that, is a company going to do that? Do you think that's likely that we'll see a box that will run that?
I think that everybody will be able to tell a lot more. We should have both Linux and 10-foot betas out there fairly quickly.
Yeah.
And I think customers will say, this is really great, or they'll say, another interesting but not valuable, contribution fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I would really like it if Windows 8 was a blowout success, because we're going to make a lot more money, there'll be lots of happy customers. I don't think that that's going to be what happens. I think that Windows 8 will end up being very poorly received by customers. I think it'll raise support calls. I think it'll reduce hardware manufacturer margins. I think we'll actually sell fewer copies of our games on machines that are running Windows 8.
Speaking of another game that we love, Team Fortress 2, the team has been doing these cool updates. Meet the Pyro came out a little while ago, and you just released a new update yesterday, right?
Yep, man versus machine. It's basically PvE. I think the first time we had a conversation, I was talking to Michael Booth about how much I love player versus environment games in World of Warcraft. And he was like, well, there's no reason we can't do that inside of TF2. So, if anything, it grew out of our enthusiasm for that kind of gaming play. Getting together with a bunch of your friends, fighting this overwhelming alien invasion, and seeing how far you can get.
And now you're going on vacation. You're going diving with sharks. Is this true?
Yep, going to go down to South Africa and jump into a cage and get eaten by white sharks. So goodbye.
Any final words, Gabe? In case you go down, do you want to tell the fans anything about Half-Life 3 right here?
I hate sharks.
David Crane, the creator of Pitfall and father of the entire adventure platformer genre, is returning to the jungle. Joining the Kickstarter gaming movement, David's team is looking to bring the things that made the games of the 80s great into the current generation, promising jungles, adventures, and an engaging side-scroller from a classic designer's perspective. You can help fund David Crane's jungle adventure now at jungleadventure.com/kick.
After the break, we hear how Valve plans to bring Steam to your living room TV. Let indie game creators get voted onto Steam.
We think we're going to learn a lot about what it is our customers want to buy on Steam.
And later in the show, we debut a sneak peek at the new cinematic trailer for Counter-Strike Global Offensive.